What's up, y'all? Doyle here from Philly Insider. We got our first trade target video of the deadline season. I want to clarify before we get into this is not any rumors or reports. This is just me speculating at someone who might be a good fit for the Phils. And that's what all these videos are going to be. There's going to be a lot of them coming out over the next few weeks. So keep an eye on those and stay tuned to the channel. The Cardinals have become sellers at the deadline. That much is clear. They're probably not going to sell names like Goldschmidt or Arenado, but they will be selling off some rentals such as Jack Flaherty most likely. Jordan Montgomery would make sense, Jordan Hicks. And a lot of their outfielders might be on the move. And one who I think is definitely going to get moved is Tyler ONeill. I still think the Cardinals are going to build for 2024, but I do think Tyler O'Neill's probably going to not be in that picture. And the Phils could really use a right-handed corner outfielder, lacking power from the right side of the plate. That's been a little bit of an issue for the Phils this year, and they're definitely lacking some production against left-handed pitching. Their team OPS is 742 versus lefties, which ranks 16th in the league, just around the middle, and they are first in strikeouts with 284. I've looked at a lot of right-handed corner outfield bats, and I think he would make some sense, especially given that he has a career 108 OPS plus versus left-handed pitching. Now, he's 28 years old. He's going to be a free agent in 2025, so you'd have another year of control. And also, he's kind of coming up on what is expected to be his prime years. He's known as a power bat and a gold glove outfielder. He has a lot of raw talent. He is currently rehabbing from a back injury. He's in Memphis right now. He may rejoin the team this week. This is one of the main concerns, though. Before we kind of get into the potential upside of a move like this, he battled through hamstring injuries in 2022 and only played in 96 games. Then this year, the back injury has kept him out since May 5th. Up until now. There are reasonable questions as to whether or not he can stay healthy over the course of the season and the rest of his career. And speaking to the hamstring issues, he changed his running form to try to avoid some of those issues this year. That came into conversation when he was thrown out at home earlier this season, where it looked like he wasn't quite running at full speed. And he still had pretty good metrics on that sprint speed and how fast he was running, but it was a little bit below his usual mark. So that's a concern. Him and Cardinals manager Marmol have not quite seen eye to eye, and who knows how much there is really to that, but a change of scenery might do him well for a number of reasons. So on the positive side, O'Neill's been quite productive when on the field. In his last 263 games, 1,019 plate appearances, he has 50 home runs. So that still comes out to a pace of about 26 to 34 home runs a year if he can stay on the field. And now a lot of this comes from his 2021 season when he kind of broke out and he slashed 286, 352, 560 with 34 home runs, 62 total extra base hits, and 80 RBIs in 138 games. As a team looking to acquire him, you're hoping to kind of resurrect some of that season, which isn't a guarantee. And even in that season, he struck out at a really high rate of 31.3%. And he didn't walk at a super high rate, only 7.1%, which is odd because I think he's actually shown some pretty good plate discipline over the years, so I'm not quite sure what the issue is there. Maybe he's not taking advantage of pitches in the zone enough, and that's leading to some strikeouts. Maybe he's getting behind in the count early. I'm not sure, but he did improve upon this in 2022. His strikeout rate was down a bit to 26.9%, still not the best, and his walk rate was up to 9.9%, which that's definitely better. But I think the hamstring issues maybe did limit his ability at the plate that year and kept him out of a rhythm. He hit only 228 with a 700 OPS. He was still on pace to hit around 20 home runs had he played more of the season, but obviously that wasn't the mark he hit the year before, so his usual power definitely seemed a bit limited. He also really struggled with breaking and off-speed pitches in 2022, which was quite the difference from 2021. Curveball and changeup really gave him issues in particular. It's really hard to evaluate this season in 2023, given that he's only played in 30 games, and they were pretty much all in April. His strikeout rate did shoot back up to 31%. His walk rate was back down to 7%. And he struggled with breaking and off-speed pitches again. So I do wonder how long the back issues lingered and how much that affected his power as well. There are some reasonable concerns with the plate, and you're hoping that he can have a turnaround if you bring him onto the roster. The saving grace for O'Neill in the midst of these offensive struggles is that he's an incredible outfielder. Two-time Gold Glove winner in 2020 and 2021, 11 career outs above average in left field, 12% career success rate added in left field, 25 career defensive runs saved, a 13.9 ultimate zone rating, and he's got a pretty strong arm too. He has 12 career outfield assists to his name. So not only would he be an upgrade to Schwarber defensively in left field if Schwarber moved to DH, he'd be an elite glove. I think if he is going to turn it around at the plate with a change of scenery and the right coaches, I'm not sure about his health long term because that could affect his possible turnaround too. So that does make me hesitate. I do believe if he worked with Kevin Long, he'd be a contributor for the Phillies the rest of the way. even if he doesn't get back to his 2021 form at the plate. I still think he could be a very solid hitter, and he provides some power and pop to the lineup. Looking at the transformation a guy like Brandon Marsh made when he came here, I think ONeill could definitely make an impact offensively. And like I said, I do have concerns about his health, and the fact that he really is a wild card offensively. You don't know what you'd be getting out of him. It's not like you bring him in here at the deadline and you're like, we really feel good about our chances now that he's on the team. We're going to have to see what he can bring to the table. But at 28 years old, I do think that he is a potential steal, and I'd probably welcome this acquisition more than most would. I don't know if he'd be my top choice, but I would like it. At the same time, I do think a team like the Yankees or Blue Jays, they may make a more aggressive offer for him given the lack of options in the outfield at the trade deadline, and also the plethora of teams that could probably use an outfielder. So I'm not sure what the Phillies' interest level is going to be. It'll be fun to watch it play out because, like I said, I do anticipate him getting moved. Maybe the Phillies can get a package deal with him and a starting pitcher from the Cardinals. I think it would be tough to get a guy like him and Flaherty or Montgomery in a trade to solve two problems, but you never know. That's always something I think they'll probably explore, and maybe it's something that comes to fruition later. But just an option I see. I'm not saying he's the best option, but like I said, I'd probably welcome it more than most would. So let me know your guys' thoughts on Tyler O'Neill. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. God bless y'all. Ring the bell, and peace out. We'll see you guys on the next one.